guys, welcome to Butte Mountain Homestead. Today's a fun little video. I'm doing a vintage haul, not necessarily a thrift haul, but my sister and I had a fun girl day. We went to lunch. I met her. She only had to work half a day, so I met her for lunch, and then we went to two vintage marketplaces, you know, where they have like vendor booths inside and stuff. So, and I'd never been to either of them, but she found one by accident a couple weeks ago. So we normally go to like there's like a 3-day vintage market event where like vendors from all over the state and outside the state come, and they do these little markets like in big buildings, and it's all their best stuff. Well, they're not doing that this weekend, so we decided to just go have a little fun day. So we went and did that. I am pooped. This getting older business is for the birds. But before I get into the vintage little haul, I do have something to share. It's been kind of on my mind a little bit, and I didn't know which way I wanted to go. This channel is basically, I showcase my life, all of it. The inside, the outside, the garden, the cooking, everything like homesteading or what a housewife would do, you know, in their home. And I love doing all of it, but it seems like you guys seem to like certain parts more. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to be doing the garden part of it and showing you things. It'll be mostly like garden tours, or if there's something that is fantastic, like the garden tour here in a week or so, or in a few days, is going to be wonderful because everything's blooming and it's beautiful. Or if we have projects that were finished, but just showing the everyday, like mundane pulling weeds, fixing drip line, you know, if something died. I think I'm going to steer away from that. And this is just a trial period just to see how it works. So you'll still see garden content for those that like the garden content. But like I said, there seems to be more people like the cleaning, my thrift hauls, my decorating, my cottage room. Those seems to get more views. So my whole goal when I started this channel was to inspire people, whatever level that is, or in whatever area in their homes or gardens or kitchens that is. So I think I'm going to kind of switch gears just a little, and I'm going to start showcasing more or doing more videos on the cleaning, the kitchen stuff, cooking, like I said, the thrift hauls, the vintage hauls, the decorating, the crafts. Just do a little bit more of that, and the gardening a little bit backside, which is kind of perfect timing because here in a couple months it's going to be too hot for me to do anything. When July, from June until the end of October, it is hot. It's ridiculous. I can only work for a few minutes or about an hour or hour and a half in the morning, and then not until the sun goes down, and then I have maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours to get whatever done. During the day is impossible. So this is perfect timing to kind of switch this up and change it and try it a little bit. And I was talking to an Instagram friend, and she kind of suggested the same thing. So I'm going to give it a try. Let me know what you guys think. Please, 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 please tell me what you think. You guys can engage with me as long as it has to do with my videos and it's not cheeky or just rude, you know, whatever level of rude. There's lots of them out there. You can just keep those to yourself. So, you know, or if you have positive feedback is wonderful. I work really well with that. So anyways, I'm going to give it a try. You guys let me know what you think. I can try to get more garden stuff in there, but like I said, they just don't do as well video wise. So, and it's not that I'm doing this to be a bazillionaire, for heaven's sakes. I'm not, obviously. It was always just to inspire. Would I like to be able to make a little bit of income off of it, to be able to buy more thrift stuff? Sure, that would be great. Jean takes care of me and our home, so I don't have to I don't have to worry about that. So I'm very fortunate in that area. I work part-time by choice. I'm out doing errands anyway, so might as well make a little bit of money while I'm doing it. So anyways, enough with all of that. Probably too much information, but I'm always very upfront with you guys and transparent. So I just didn't want you to see a big shift and not know why. So why don't we get into the vintage haul? We went to 2 places, and I had certain things in mind because this room is pretty crowded, my cottage room. There's a couple things I want to do, but right now with everything being outside, is my project piles are everywhere, and I don't have anywhere to put them because I keep buying stuff. So I need to be more focused and intentional with the things that I'm buying. So today I did do that. So I'm going to show you the things that I got at the first thrift store, and then I'll just go from there. I will say that I did have a huge score on one item, so I will show you that. But the first place I went to, I did pick up, and I'm not going to go over prices. They're just, I mean, they're not that expensive. I think for everything today, everything, not counting lunch, I'm just doing thrift store, vintage store. I think everything was under $80 if I had to guess. So, and I don't remember exactly. I know one thing was heavily discounted, but I don't know if anything else was. So I guess I'll say the prices. The sticker's already off, so, but I did get this bundle of lace. See if you can see that pretty good right there. I use this when I'm making my little, I like to decorate my cards, or like little cards. I make like little flower rosettes, so, or I make little tassels. So I really like this thinner stuff with the flat edge. So there's quite a bit of, if I had to guess, it's probably a yard. So, and I do believe it was either $4 or $8. Either way, it was fine. So that was one thing. The second thing I got, and this is for the greenhouse because it's seed inspired. It's a Fairy Seeds tin, and it has the glare. I'm trying to do away with the glare there. Has different scenes on there. So that'll go in the greenhouse. It won't hold seeds because the greenhouse, I bet today got 120 in there. I'm predicting going out and looking at my seedlings, and I'm predicting them to be wilted. So I think tomorrow they're going to sit outside the greenhouse. But anyway, so I'm going to put that on my shelf in the greenhouse. And the other thing I got is, this said it was a ring dish. Let me put my glasses on. I don't need to look at prices, so I don't need my glasses, but I want to make sure I show it to you right side up. Oh, there's really not a right side. It said it was a ring dish, but it's a square little, if I don't drop it. See, it's got pretty little yellow flowers on there. So like daffodils. So I think it was handmade. So that was $4. I do know that. So, and then there's 3 of these. I'm a brown and white transfer gal. I like the pastoral scenes, or like the farm scenes or rural scenes. Actually, the only scenes I don't care for are the Oriental, you know, like the Oriental boats or Asian inspired. That's not me. It's great for somebody else, but it's not for me. But I did get 3 of these plates, and they're, you know, they're about that size. I think they were $7 each. And this is Double Phoenix. Oh, Nikko Japan. It's not even English, but it doesn't have, see if you can see it. Not very well. Never mind. Oh, there we go. No, you can't. But anyway, so I got 3 of those to add to my brown and white, because we use these for everyday dishes. So got 3 of those. And now I'm going to switch to the other vintage store. So I didn't get much there, but this is where I got the biggest score. So the first thing that I got was, these are the plates that we have that we use for dinner, and I only have 7. So this makes 8. This is the pattern that we have. It's called the Jeannette, or Royal China Jeannette Corporation, Sussex. This one says made in the USA. So I think it's backwards on there, but anyways, this is the pattern that we use. I mean, literally every day. So, and kind of a little bit of backstory is in May, there's a Mother's Day tea at our church, and I am co-chairing it or co-putting it on. So, but that just happened yesterday. So I already was planning my table. I'm still going to host a table, but I've been ordering stuff for it, and I am using our brown and white dishes for this. So this was $5. When Jean bought me the other set off of Etsy, they were not $5 a piece. They were, I think they were $12 a piece, if I'm not mistaken. I think they were $12 a piece. It was my Christmas present one year. So, cause he always asks, and that's what I wanted. So, so this is going to be the bottom piece. And when that time comes, I'll show you what the table setting looks like. But the things that I got today, some of them go with that. And then this next part is the huge score. So my theme for the table is greens and whites and browns, kind of like that cottage. So I have a pretty brown wicker basket with white flowers, and I have in my Etsy cart, which I'm gonna have to take out of my cart now, was I needed 3 more teacups and saucers to match the set, this brown and white set. But those 3 cups and saucers alone by themselves are more than I spent at this vintage store just for those 3. So what I'm going to show you is so here's the saucer, and then here's the cup. It's a olive green, and it's really pretty. It has a farm, like a Tudor style house. I do need my glasses on for this, and I'll tell you how much I paid. This is the, oh my gosh, what every person who goes to vintage marketplaces looks for. It's like a brownish green, but it's got, yeah, like a Tudor cottage style house on it. See if you can see it pretty good. See if you can do it that way. Yeah. And the cup doesn't have the markings on it, but the plate does. And the plate says Romantic England, Warwickshire, 16th century, Anne Hathaway's cottage, English ironstone, dishwasher safe, J.E.G. Meakin, England. And it's going to be reverse on here, but let's see. There we go. So there was only 7 of them, which the table that I'm setting up is only going to be for 6, so that's fine. I was just going to get 6, but my sister was like, you're not leaving one set there. I will feel bad if someone needed one and they didn't. They don't have them. Anyways, 75% off the whole booth. So I got this entire set of 7 teacups and saucers, and then there's this bowl. It's the same colors, but the description is not the same. The description on the bowl says Romantic England, so that's fine. Buckinghamshire, and checkers with a QU, so CHEQUERS. English ironstone, J.E.G. Meakin, England. So the only thing it doesn't say is the Anne Hathaway's cottage. This has I don't know, it's like a manor, and there's like people sitting. See if I can turn it sideways. But I wish the green, it's like an olive green, which matches the napkins that I'm going to use on the for the setting. So 75% off. So I paid under $14 for this bowl and 7 teacups and saucers. I'm blown away. So very happy about that. And then the other thing that I got, that I purchased was, take my glasses off, sorry, is this primitive sign. It's backwards, but I'll read it to you. It's the please help me not to be so busy making a living I forget to make a life. Amen. So, and I do believe it's stitched. It's stitched. At first I thought it was just printed, but it does look like it's stitched. If not, it doesn't matter either way. And it's not old primitive. At least I don't think it is. So, I mean, it's just got cardboard on the back. I think this was $11. So that was pretty cool. And then the last 2 items I did not purchase, but it was at the end, we were almost checking out, and we went to one last booth, and my sister pointed out that they had this, I'm calling it a double frog because it has both types of frog. There's the pokey on the inside, and then it has this thing, weighs a ton. I mean, it's seriously, it's probably 5 pounds. So I was half joking with her, and I said, well, I'm good because I don't know. I mean, Gene doesn't care. This is like an early birthday present for me. He does it every year, is that I get to go shopping and have a day with my sister. So, but I said, well, if you happen to be, I'm not going to say my date of birth, but if you happen to be back in this store sometime by the end of May, you can get that for me for my birthday. So she jokingly said, I'm not sure if it's going to be here when I come back. So she got it. And as we're playfully bickering about it, she happened to see this. Okay, I'm going to try this again. So my camera cut off. I keep forgetting to empty my trash after I throw videos away, after I upload them. Anyways, I was out of video storage. But so, like I was saying, we were kind of playfully bickering about it. And then she saw this. And it's a brown and white transferware little picture. Look at this. There's a guy with a plow and a horse on one side. There's a boat. Oh, there's a lady in a boat. There's just pastoral scenes. I mean, this is gorgeous. So, and on the table for that tea party is I'm going to have my ironstone pictures, and I think I have one more brown and white picture. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to have little pictures of like baby's breath, like around the table, or like faux white roses. But this was or is pastoral Alfred Meekin, England, a hand engraved pattern applied under the glaze, permanent, and I don't know what the word is. Something resisting color. I don't know what the letters are, but it's something EID. So I don't know if something rubbed off, but anyways, so yeah, that was my early birthday present for my sister. So my husband got me early shopping for my birthday, and my sister got me these early presents. So anyways, total great day. We had a great lunch. Yeah, just had a great day. So that's all I've got today, guys. But like I said, leave comments down below if you have any questions or concerns with the switcheroo on how I'm going to do things for a while. If it works out great, then that's just what I'll do. I thought about maybe creating a second channel, but there's really no point if the garden stuff, if everything did wonderful, then maybe I would, but I don't have that many subscribers, which I would like more, of course. And I love interacting with those that do make comments and they do ask questions. I love responding to you guys, and I love answering your questions the best I can. I'm sorry I don't always get into full details on things. I'm busy out there. The other day I spent 6 hours outside pulling weeds and pruning, and fixing drip. I had started to film it, and I just finally thought, I'm just getting in the groove. And I mean, I was dog tired by the end of the day. I mean, I was really pooped and sore. And anyways, so I just didn't film it. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Like, comment, do all the fun things, and yeah, please stick around for the fun. I think it's going to be fun. I think this is fun. Anyways, remember to always be kind and do what makes you happy. Thanks, guys.